Mind is the wonderful instrument that is given to the human being. In the lake of mind, there lies a fish called our emotions. There's one thing called egoistic mind that separates the consciousness from the self. The mind has tendency to attach itself with the consciousness, and we forget that we are the consciousness, and mind takes over us and identifies itself with us. That creates a real problem. When we consider the lake of mind, at the upper level there is a conscious mind, and when you go at the deeper level there is unconscious mind. Unconscious mind, subconscious mind, what do you call it? It's filled with rich of jewels of knowledge, experiences of the consciousness. But when we remain at the surface, we are bounded by the ego. The ego tends to blackmail us. The food for the ego is the lust, the anger, all the powers of darkness. That is the food for ego. When we feed the fish of our egoistic mind with darkness emotions like fear or criticism, it empowers the ego. Ego loves it. Ego loves the drama. Whenever you try to separate your ego and mind from your consciousness, it creates the drama. It attracts you to those situations which sets the quarrel, which disturbs you, and which takes you to the darker level of your body consciousness. But if you want to get rid of this whole negative cycle, what it is necessary that you should observe the stillness. What is stillness? Stillness is the consciousness. We can call it as the awareness of the self. And when the mind is still, you can observe the deeper level of mind where the intellect lies, where all the divine qualities are present. Every consciousness in its purest form is full with divine qualities, and all are hidden from us due to the blackmailing of our egoistic fish of mind or egoistic mind emotion. And all these dark fish, these are fed on the dirt of conscious mind dark emotions like lust, body consciousness, unhappiness, the fear, the terror that is ruling the world today. And when we watch the newspaper, TV, all those media that is constantly bombarding us with negative emotions, and when we are tuned to those lower level frequencies of vibrations, and that shuts off our consciousness, that shrinks our consciousness, and whenever we lose the touch with reality, and we lose the touch with the nature. We forget our real nature, and we start identifying ourselves with our bodies, that we are not. We are infinite. We are consciousness. We are nothing but the infinite love, unconditional love. We are connected with, all connected with the Supreme Self, with unconditional love. But what separates us from unconditional love and the Supreme Self is the ego. Ego separates us from our real self. So how to get rid of all this negative cycle? So what is necessary? First, to observe the stillness of the mind. Once the mind is still, the mind will not obey you, but the intellect has to order the mind to make it still. Once or twice it will make the mistakes, but you order him. And with the will, if you order the mind, it has to obey you. And it is the divine will or the ruler. If the consciousness is the ruler or the intellect is the ruler, all the sense organs and all the resolve has to obey what is the order of intellect. And if intellect is worthy, its orders will be obeyed by the mind. And once the mind obeys the orders, all the thoughts that are generating in the lake of mind stops. The ripple stops. The lake becomes clear, and you can see the jewels that are present at the bottom of the lake. Bring the light of knowledge, light of the Supreme Self, light of the experience of consciousness, light of unconditional love in the lake of your mind. Purify that lake. The ego that has become blackened, our hearts has become blackened Now you can purify that ego and make that ego a golden ego, or what we can say a superconscious ego that helps us. Inferiority consciousness that takes us down, that shrinks us our intellect. But this super consciousness, or what we can say is conscious ego, the self respect, the respect for divine self, divine connection, enhances our powers, and it takes us near to the absolute truth. And the more we observe the stillness, the more we'll go into the deeper level of the mind. The deeper and deeper we go in the conscious mind, we will pass the conscious phase, we'll enter in the unconscious phase, and there lies the intellect, all the powers of the intellect, all the jewels of the intellect, all the divine value, which is purity, love, happiness, joy. The all powers are present in its essence. And once we get that essence, we are combined with that essence, we find ourselves like ocean filled with knowledge, ocean filled with jewels. And when we realize that we are in our true self, a very rich person in the universe, in fact, we realize that we are the universe and the children of the Almighty or the divine power. And we also realize that through unconditional love, we are that divine power that rules the universe. And but once we observe this, and to observe this, it is necessary that we should meditate. Meditation is nothing but the contemplation, and on some good point, a good thought that you take, and one divine thought or good thought that enhances your confidence, that takes you to the deeper level of mind, that makes you introvert. And once you go deeper and deeper, there, after contemplation for few minutes, maybe it may take few hours, once you reach the experience phase, it will need the practice, but by practice you will go in the phase of experience, and the experience will guide you. There may be a possibility that you may not feel anything for half an hour, but the process doesn't goes in vain. It takes you to your reality. It frees you from the bondage of the hypnotism that conscious mind and all the TV, newspaper, and all the negative energies has created on your mind. It frees you, and once you are free, the freedom and the next step is the inner joy, the sheer joy. And you get, once you find the joy inside you, whatever the worldly pleasures, you find them very, very little, very short in front of you, and you find yourself full with power, and you're able to give whatever the jewels that are available with you. You will freely give love, you will freely help others, you will be empowered within, and you will be the power that is spreading light and might and enlightening the minds of all the people in the universe. You will be the one who is connecting the hearts of different people of the universe with unconditional love. And wherever you will go with enlightened mind, you will connect the hearts. Everybody will feel that we are the family, and this is the divine family. Actually, the world is a divine family, but we are lacking the touch with the universe. We are lacking the touch with the self. But once we realize that what really we are, we don't find the another person as a threat, and there will be the brotherhood. There will be that feeling that yes, everybody is a divine family. You are me and I am you, and unconditional love is the only the truth.